What's up, YouTube? We're here with another video. I'm gonna play an African zoo today. I think we're gonna build a African's Grassland Zoo, getting excited for the new DLC. So I'm gonna start a new franchise zoo and it is going to be so cool. Grasslands Africa. I really haven't made many zoos like this, to be fair. I usually do zoos that are like tropical or, you know, look like Colorado or look like Oklahoma. So I'm really excited about this. We're gonna get right into it. Planet Zoo. Here we are. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a new franchise zoo. Let's start off. Now, if you've seen any of my videos before, I love to start off with a very minimalistic entry. And I like to kind of monopolize on the money that you can make within your own beginning of the zoo here. With this, though, I think what I could do, that would only make me $7. So to me, that's not worth deleting, if that makes sense. Normally, that's something I would delete. But let's do an amazing entrance to this. They use this birch. They're using the birch. So I'm going to align to grid on these so that I can make a very seamless entry, as I have like a really big entrance. So I think I might simulate that still with a pretty big, what would you call this, courtyard? Like a really pretty courtyard. But I know the African DLC that we've had before, I don't know if it's the DLC or for just the main game, came with a lot of the pieces that represent Africa. There are a lot of really pretty things that can be used. So let's look at that real quick. Like there's really cool things. Like look how pretty this is, right? So a part of me is like, do we do something like this to represent like what's going on? Do I move this? I could technically just move this here and make it look like a walkthrough enclosure. Like the entrance of the zoo is like this now, which I think is actually a great idea. To utilize maybe just some of the pieces that they're giving us anyways. Let's actually slide this guy down a little bit so the lights are just barely on the ground. Beautiful. Okay. So we're going to kind of keep this same vibe throughout, but what I want to do is I want to come in here and I want to make doorways, or even just an opening here is fine. So it feels like you're transporting into a new place, which I do think that's the point of a zoo, is to feel that way. Now, something we could do is we could do like a restaurant here, which is very common to do like a restaurant in the very beginning of a zoo, but I don't know if I want to spend that money on that right now. We could just do something like aesthetic, right? Like just a pretty building and have this be like a scenery, or we can even go crazier and do like an enclosure here. Now I know that with the money that we have, which is only, I'm covering it up right now so you guys can't see it, but I only have $40,000. So that's not great. Actually, why don't I move myself to, let me unlock this and just slide myself like up here. Maybe that's better. So you guys can see the money and stuff. Not that you guys care about that, but if you guys did care about that, I would love to know. So let's look at it. Do we do a small enclosure? Do we need to do employee buildings? Do we do an employee building that feels genuine? See, I don't know. I really like this modern look to it. So I might even just say, no, let's stick with this kind of design. And we could just do some foliage, a little walkthrough area. I think I want to do an enclosure, or at least maybe the bug stuff here. I think that's what we're gonna do. I think that would be the best for this area. But first, let's get our staff buildings in here, because if you look, we don't have any staff, so we need to get our staff buildings in here. So if you look down at your staff facilities, I always make a franchise blueprint that has all of the employee buildings that I need, so that it's easy for me to just place it and like set it and forget it kind of, and then I'll have an employee section over here. So I'm gonna align to grid this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this same design that was on this. Now something about this pre-built, it just saves you so much time. Now that's not something you have to do. You can obviously do your own custom employee area. I just don't go hard on the employee areas with franchise mode, because franchise mode, you're limited to how much money you're gonna have, how much resources you're gonna have, and to me it's just not worth it to try to go hard in the paint with the first employee area. Now if you want to go hard on your second or third employee area, feel free. I'm gonna come over here again though, and I'm going to copy this. I'm gonna exit out of here, I'm gonna turn it, and I'm gonna use it here like so, and then I'm gonna turn it. Now remember, I'm using Z to turn so that it stays on the grid system. So if you ever feel like you're having a hard time with that, make sure you're selected on the grid that you want it to be connected to, and that you are also making sure that your grid system on the bottom here has the smallest amount, because if not, it might not line up. See how sometimes it doesn't line up, but that's also because this one's not placed correctly. So I'll move that in a second. But see, yep, just like that. So go like this, and I'm gonna move it there so that it actually shows. But you want it to line up like right up against it, so it's the easiest form. Now this is a limestone wall, so I'm actually gonna go into construction and then just type in limestone so that I can pull up the matching entry doors, just like that. So, ooh, that's not right. Remember, Control Z is your best friend if you place something that you didn't like. There's also the undo button. But I'm a big using the Control Z function for sure. Now remember, the windows you can use. Look how cool that looks, right? Look how cool. Very fun. Now what I'm gonna do is I might also just steal this rooftop as well. Let me get rid of that one and do Shift lets you copy multiple items. So you want to connect it to, you want to exit out of that group so it's not in that group anymore, because that's group 6, and now this one's separate. This is a different group. Same thing with this. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy it, exit that group, click this group, and add it to this group instead. It's like off by like just a smidge, which is frustrating. Now you can exit group completely and have it be freestanding, which is always an option. But then what it's going to do is it's going to be its own separate group, which is also fine, but just keep that in mind that when you're doing things, it might not be perfect. See, like now it's off by just a little bit. Exit. So good. Actually, I might turn it like that. Boom, baby. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to slide this down. Now sometimes I know that like building on your own can be kind of difficult and scary, but I promise you, like the more you get used to pressing the buttons and using the Z function the right way, and the it will really help you get better at building and feel more in control of what's going on. The other features are you know, a lot of the movements are a little tricky, but as soon as you get them down, it's like perfect. And this is some of the fastest building you're gonna get. You know what I mean? Like instead of just placing normal pieces, this is the fastest like you doing a custom build you're gonna get, right? Look how cool that looks. Now this can be an enclosure. This can be the animal, like the exhibits. What I'm probably gonna do is I love a good mirrored moment, but I think this is gonna be its own large enclosure. So we have a small enclosure, a large enclosure, and somewhere that the people are gonna see. And then I'm thinking of doing like a mall-like situation here. So let's go into facilities. Now that we have all of our, we need to make sure we have people. So let's get some staff members. Caretaker, a keeper, a mechanic, and a vendor and a veterinarian. I think those are like number 1 right now in my book. It says we need to do exhibits and profits. So that, like I said, this could either be food or it can be animals. I think I'm gonna do animal, 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 and then like food and food, like here. So let's go to facilities, and then right here at animal exhibits, I want to do a twofer like this, because I think this is what I'm envisioning. Well, this is a 4fer. How much is this? 12,000. Ooh, that might be too much. Let's do just the twofer. Let's do just the twofer. And are we gonna do 2 doors like that? I think if we do it this way and I get rid of this and just have that side and this side, I think that's the right call. So let's delete that one, delete this one, come in here, and what we'll do is we'll make sure that this is like this. That looks really pretty. Go back to construction. Let's go to limestone, and I will put doorways like that for people to walk through. Snake. Let's maybe get them going in one of these enclosures because I know it's at least a desert-like look. And then let's go back here, and then another awesome option can be this hornback. We'll just do 2 snakes, I think is probably the right play. They're fairly cheap, and I think they both have deserty vibes. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Now let's make sure before we hit play, we're gonna make sure that the educational stuff is correct. So this needs to say, this is the common, that one. This looks so cool, right? Let's do this one. Very, very cool. We'll put an, you always want to make sure when you're doing a franchise mode that you are putting down the donation boxes and enough seating, because people will leave your zoo if they feel like there isn't enough seating for them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put some seating here and some in here as well. Just to show that we do have absolutely the right amount of seating for people. I might actually slide this just over just a smidge. Also facilities, we want to make sure that we are getting a donation box. Super, super important for, if I could just find it. It's very important. And we need to put some ATMs down. So let's find the donation box first before we move on. Oh, hello, Meow. Now we could put it like here, which is a good spot. Oh gosh, back that up. I do want to change the colors to match this vibe. So I think I'm going to go with like a yellow and a red. Ooh, that's not the right color. There we go. That's better. That is much better. Let's come in here and I will put, I want to put one like right here. Let's take position snap off and see if it will let me. It might not, so we might just have to do 2 like that, which is fine. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so now before we move on, what I want to do is I think I want to do, we would probably have a viewing platform here. Maybe this one. Yeah, that one. Because I'm going to have an enclosure be here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this window and I'm going to slide these windows down. Perfect. Because I want to have there be an animal enclosure here. So I would have like a viewing underneath here for sure. And then I'd have like probably an educational thing here. But yeah, let's do ATMs on this other side. Where are my ATMs? Boom, baby. Boom, boom, and boom. Perfect. Please come spend your money. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to change the colors of these as well. So let's do this dark mauve color because I think it just matches so well. Now I know a lot of people don't care about this kind of stuff, but I just feel like it really does make a cohesive, it makes it feel like it's important to be there and it's part of the zoo. You designed it to be that way. Actually, I don't know if I like how far away that is, so let's actually get out of this. And let's slide this guy down just a smidge. No, I'm off a little bit as well. It's okay. It's gonna bother me, but like, it's okay. I'm weird about like symmetry and it having to look like on purpose, if that makes sense. Beautiful, beautiful. Now these guys are really pretty and I want to maybe highlight them a little bit more, maybe with some lights, some uplights. So maybe we take these lights and we turn them with Z. And we do that to highlight these moments, which is really pretty. I also want to get some foliage in here, but we're going to wait. We're going to wait. We're down to 14,000. So I think that's a good place to start. We do need to maybe either do like a ticketing booth or like something really cool right here. Maybe even a fountain or a sign. But like I said, I'm not going to go totally crazy with this first build. Like I love this. Ooh, or maybe even just this. Maybe just this. Maybe just this. And then we will move this to the back here. There we go. And then we'll move this guy to like here. And we'll go kind of crazy with something later here. But this to me feels really good to start off with like our two, and then once we get some people in here, then that's when we'll get the money flowing. You know what I mean? What I want to start doing now is we're going to go into nature and I'm going to go to the filter option and I'm going to click on biome and I want it to be grassland and desert, and then continent we're going to say Africa because I don't want to do anything else than these items. And I'm just going to start like filling in as we let people arrive to the zoo because we need to start generating money before we decide to go any crazier on anything else going on. Now, another thing we don't have is a bathroom. So to me, the only other thing we would probably do before guests arrive is maybe put a bathroom like here or maybe even like right here and have the door be like here. But I don't really want to encroach on this space too much, but we can. Let me see if I can, if we go to facilities and go to guest facilities and bathrooms, there are tons of African bathrooms that would look perfectly fine here. But I think we're going to go with like a basic bath, like there. Because I know this is going to be back to construction, back to my limestone. We could do just a regular door. Or we could do like one of these doors like we did before. That might be fine. That's probably good. Okay. Let's move this bench maybe there. No, we'll put the bench on this side. We got people showing up. Oh, that's so annoying. All right, maybe we'll just do one bench. And we'll do a trash can. Now I do really love these what DLC was this? I think this was like the Oceanic one that has, yeah, the Oceanic one is just so good, I think. It just looks the most versatile. And I'm gonna put a bunch of them down for people to use. Thank you. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Come look at the snakes. Come look at the snakes. The snakes are so cool. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to hide this building with these kind of pieces and probably thicken up this wall or just move it out one. Is it not gonna let me? It might not let me. Sometimes it just sometimes does not line up, which is fine. I might just move this back then. There you go. Boom, baby. Little secret. Look, makes it look like you know. What I might do too is there is a half wall, which I like to use for moments like this, where it feels like, not that you're like ruining the, I do want it to feel cohesive. Like this is part of a hallway that takes you somewhere else, if that makes sense. There we go. Pretty, and you can see this way, which is fine, because I think this would be pretty to have foliage in. Like a little garden almost. Look at that, pretty. Okay, so I really love this educational thing that I've downloaded before. To me, it's a little expensive for a frugal moment, but I do think this is the kind of stuff that I would want like right here and stuff. How much actually is this? 2,000? Yeah, we're gonna wait on that because I think we need to start with a real enclosure soon. The employee, we also need to make sure that our pathings at some point either are just employee paths leading this area, like that. Not the whole thing needs to be it, but just like so people don't stay in that area, which is fine, or walk down that way. All right, so let's work on doing a small enclosure here. Let's see, I don't want seals. I want to see what we got to work with. Let's see what the cheapest option we have is. Oh my God, did you see this? What is this king penguin? He's yellow. That's dope. That's really dope. We got some chickens. We have some Asian. We have swan. Ooh, not a lot of good African animals, huh? Guys, what's a really good African animal? Let's see. Common warthog might not be bad. Let's see how many they got. Oh, we got plenty. So let's do the males. We can do the male on this, and then we can do a female on that. And let's see if this is big enough. It might not be. Let me see if I can look at the animals stuff. Zoopedia. Habitat-wise, they only need 2. We really don't need a lot of space, so this might be just enough space. Let's see if we can map it out for them. So let's go to barrier. We're gonna go to null barrier, and we're gonna, I like to go up against the building, like we're using the building. Like this, and I'll build my own little barrier after. Let's go directly like that. And what I'll do is I'll see if I can put in. Yeah, we'll just do that for now. I hate that this is like not. Oh goodness, we have a VIP guest at the zoo. All right, so let's go to, let's see how big it is. I guess it doesn't say. 400, perfect, it's double what they need. So we're gonna do that. Let's pause for 2 seconds. We now have 12 grand. Let's do the common warthogs first. I'm gonna type in fence because I want to use all my custom fences. This guy is really great for this like whole design. I think I'm gonna do a double fence. I think I'm gonna do a fence from here, and then we'll do a little baby fence, if that makes sense. I love doing a double fence. Let's select all of these items. I'm gonna merge them into one group, and I'm going to slide that group over like so. Boom. Pick it up, slide it over, pull it down, line it up, line it up. Perfect. 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 Just like so. One more. Wow, did that line up perfect or what, guys? Perfect. And then pick this up, pull it over, line it up. That's not perfect, but that's okay. We'll just deal with it. Boom. Now I think this might not be a full one, but that's okay. We'll just line it up with that. And then I'm gonna come out of here, and then I'm just gonna copy these 2 pieces and then do a little moment like so. like so. Let's do this moment. It's like connected but not connected. There we go. Now that's not perfect, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. All right, so let's go to animals now. My animals, who are here? Oh, I got some presents. How cool. And a tortoise. We'll do a tortoise. That's a good shout. I love a good tortoise. And then I got a pronghorn antler. Weird. Cool. Let's go here and let's go here. We're going to put them in here. Let's press play so that people put them there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to habitat. And we're going to narrow down the things that are going to go in their habitat. But I think what I want to do is I want to kind of give them a little bit of a downward incline, if that makes sense. I think that like that would be kind of fun to have like something more terrain-ish for them. If you look, it's going to be kind of like more of a mud pit. I think the warthog's like a little bit of a mud pit situation. Perfect. So let's go to their environment. We need more coverage. They have just enough space. They needed 300. We gave them 380. They need long grass, not short grass, and they need soil. Ooh, way too much soil. Let's give them more long grass towards the back here. Perfect. This might be a little big. They do need a hard shelter. So what I might do is I might do rock over here on the back and have this be a hard shelter here. And then the long grass I'm going to have on the edges here. Perfect. Literally perfect. Let's pause again, because what I want to do is I want to make sure we're getting money. So let's make sure we're taking these guys and we're putting like one here and one here. What are they? Oh, they're just laying down. What cuties. Oh, this might be a little deep. So what I might want to do is come in here and do the smoothing tool. Well, let me change it to the rock. But let's go back to smoothing and make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Just a little bit better. Let's check their thing again, because I think I just threw off their whole thing. I did. Short grass. There we go. Long grass. Let's make it a little smaller. I love the use of the long grass like up against the edges. I think it just looks so good. Perfect, perfect, perfect. A little bit of soil. A lot of these areas. There we go. Perfect. Hard shelter, what we're going to do is we're definitely going to just have like a jet out situation here. If we go to facilities, we do need to put some benches down for the people that are going to be walking around. So I will do that and also make sure that they maybe have a canopy situation, which I think looks really good, and some trash cans because they be throwing things on the ground and we don't like that. So we're gonna put some trash cans down. I do think these ones are utilized a little bit better in like the open world. Yeah, that's very cool. Very, very cool. Where you can just see them. You can just literally look over the thing and you can see them, which I think is so cool. I will put some foliage probably around the edges here. Now, something that I might slide this all this way. I might be able to give them a little bit more room if I become a little strategic. I might just leave it. It might be too complicated to do that, so I might just leave it. I could also get rid of a row of this so it's only skinny on this side. I could also make this thicker here to give them just a little bit more room. So align to grid here. We'll give it an extra spot like this. But remove here, 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 and here, and there. And then slide these guys down. And then these guys can also move to here. Move. Boom. And we're gonna just have food on the other end, so it's not a huge deal. There we go. Perfect. Let's move this guy down a little bit. Not that like this wasn't enough space. It just kind of, it said it was enough space, but it did feel a little crowded. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna slide these guys down. Boop. And we're gonna slide this guy down to here. And this guy to here. Now something you can always do is make this like a regular fence. It might be too close to the actual enclosure now, but you could always make this like a real fence and have like some dynamicness to the Let's press play to get these people out of here, first of all. Thank you. See, like that? Oh, I guess not. Like that. See that? So you could always do like a double fence situation like that for like dangerous animals, but for warthogs, I'm not too worried about it. Let's get rid of this one to null as well. Okay. So let's go here, and I'm going to go here. And I want to go here. Exit group, please. Boom, baby. And slide you down. Boop. Same thing over here, but I'm going to turn it this way and just line it up like that. Perfect. Let's see if that's more room for them. That's much better. Look, that's like a little bit more than we needed. So now let's make them a really cool covered patio for them. Let's go back in here and I'm gonna flatten this area just a smidge. Just a smidge, and we're gonna smooth out this area for them. But I also want to come in here and get the rock back. Let's do some short grass back here, because I feel like they would have some short grass. Okay, perfect. That looks so good. We can do more long grass too here as well. On the sides here. Let's do rock right up against here. There we go. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to habitats, and we're going to make sure that we're clicking on the animal. So filter items per species, which is amazing because we still have this really awesome thing right here for them to forage in. That's not a great placement, but there we go. That's good. So they'll come forage over here, which has a nice little curvature to it. I do want it to feel a little smoother, so we're going to come in here and just smooth out some of this. There we go. There we go. And then short grass is also going to kind of come into play here on the sides a lot. Long grass on the side, right? Okay, let's go back to habitats. Let's make sure they have food. So large food trough can go like, oh gosh, that like really ruins the, let's go here. Make sure we don't do position snap, or I guess flatten terrain is off. It is off. Object will always flatten terrain. All right, we'll do a medium one then, so it's not so bad. Now we could give like a little bit of water here, like, oh, that's weird. Let's do that be heavy soil. So there's like a little bit of water there for them to like mess around with. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. We'll maybe put some rocks there. Let's go back to habitat. They need like this little guy, and they need a little box, and they need, the mud thing's kind of fun. Should we do the mud one versus this one? Maybe we do the mud one. Yeah, the mud one's kind of cool. Let's do the mud one instead. And then actually we'll get rid of this water. That looks good. I really like that. Habitats. What else do they need? What else do they need? This is kind of fun. We can put that there. Let's give them a water thing. Like that. And this little grazing doodle, that's fun. But yeah, that's just how I would start my franchise zoo. I would continue to do a lot more. But we're down to $9,000. So what I might just do is make sure that they're happy. They need more coverage. So let's definitely give them some more coverage. They actually are tropical, not desert. So I'll get rid of the desert. And I will give them some foliage. And give them some options for coverage. This is the only one that I feel like is a little not on brand for this enclosure, so I think I'm gonna take that one out. Let's maybe even turn this guy this way. What I want to do is I want to come in here and get some rocks as well. So rocks. This guy. Brilliant. So brilliant. And there we go. It's pretty, I think it's pretty good for a franchise zoo for starter. I mean, I'm on the up and up on money. I got some really cool stuff. We do need to get some food options in here for people. But food options get pretty expensive. We could do stuff like this, though. Like, oh, that's a little big. What we could do is come in here and go like these, and go like these. We do also need to do some educational stuff. There we go. That's pretty cool. That's some educational stuff about the animals they're about to see. We should probably come in here and do some more nature. Oh, I wanted to see, let me pause for a second. Let me see if that front looks really good. Yes, look at that, guys. Look how good that looks. I also want to maybe take this, copy exit group, and maybe do like a... Look at that. Look at that. Now that looks so cool. Look at that. Thank you guys for joining me on our exciting new adventure in our franchise zoo, utilizing the African DLC. And I expect to see you guys all in the next video. If you liked it, please leave a comment, leave a like. Share it with your friends if you know some people that like to build things as well. I love to teach people how to be better at this game and help others enjoy it. So if that's something that you know someone that would benefit from that, yeah, feel free to share it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!